400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Aviation Hayden, where today we're going over how to download the free flight recorder and also record your flights, record your landings and record your takeoffs in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So first off, what you're going to want to do is go to flightsim.to right at the top, and then just type in flight recorder. This will pop up right here. Just log in, hit download, and then extract it to your community folder for MSFS. So go to app data roaming, Microsoft Flight Sim, packages community, and it should pop up right here. Make sure you extract that to this folder, along with all your other add-ons and stuff. And then what you're going to do is click on flight recorder. You're going to go into it, and then right here on this blue plane right here, flight recorder.client, you're going to click on that, and then this guy is going to load up right here. Okay, flight recorder.26.0.0. So this is the flight, or I guess the plane that I'm in right now, Boeing 747-8 Internet, or the 8i, the KLM livery. So what we're going to do is hop into Flight Sim, and then right here, the flight recorder is going to be on. So we are just in Microsoft Flight Sim. We have the 747 ready to go. I'm not really going to be doing anything just yet. I'm just I can set up the camera later when I have the flight recorder tool working. So we're going to go into the plane, and then I'm just going to record a circuit, just a takeoff and one landing, and then I'll show you how to set up your landings, or correction, your camera settings for the landing and / takeoff. Is just hit record. Now it is tracking all of my information I do on, or all of my movement I should say, on Microsoft Flight Sim. So we're at the ground here, and all I'm going to do is just increase the throttle, release the parking brake, and then do that. So as we're up in the air right here, I should note, sometimes it's not going to be perfect with each plane. So like with the Phoenix A320, sometimes these switches won't switch when you want them to. The thrust reverser won't activate when you want it to. The spoilers may not activate when you want it to. So you kind of have to read between the lines. But what I like with the 747 is that you can just hit C on your keyboard. If you're a keyboard mouse, you can just hit the letter C, and then it should automatically give you control over your aircraft even when you're in drone mode or showcase, but which I'll get into in a second, and I'll kind of demonstrate a little bit more as we go. Alright, I don't have contact with the airport, but we're going to say, screw it, gear down anyway. Now, with the 747 at least, it does record your gear going down, but you may have issues with other aircraft, like the PMDG, 737, 777, the Phoenix A320, the CRJ by Aerosoft, any other plane. You may run into some issues with that, but it's okay. You can just manually do it inside of the sim when you go into landing and everything. Go to flaps 25, and then flaps 30. Alright. The crosswind component's not too bad. We have basically 17 knots down the runway. We're a little high, that's okay. 4 white, It's okay, we're in a 747. We can afford that.
200.
200 minimum.
100. 50, 40,
And there goes the power.
20, 10.
There you go. Touchdown. Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel. Awesome. Coming out of 100 knots. So flight recorder should have recorded all of that information, and as you'll see it here, it's recording as the 747, blah 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 total. This is all the information that it's getting, so that's how I know it's working. So it's still working right here. Then I'm just going to clean up the flaps, and then I guess we can stop it just at the end of the runway right here. So we'll come to a complete stop. I'm going to set the parking brake. The parking brake is set. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go into showcase right here, and then I'm going to show you guys how this kind of works. So I can hit stop recording. Now it shows my whole entire track as I went from takeoff all the way up in the circuit, all the way went down, and then our stable approach to the runway. And then of course our ground level is in the red. So let's start off by replaying this. So now it's going to replay my exact thing. So I'm not going to be touching anything. Then you hear the thrust go up. So you see how it's kind of misleading because the power is set. You hear the engines roar, but then the throttles are at idle. So it's kind of misleading sometimes. Again, a bit finicky, but it's going to be one of the best flight recorders that you can get for Microsoft Flight Sim. So beautiful 747 KLM livery. I'm going to go out into the drone cam. Then of course, I can record it like this. Just zoom in and everything. And then if you remember from earlier, I actually stowed my flaps and I stowed my slats. So I guess it brought it back out on the replay, which is lovely. And then let's see if it records the gear. There it is, the gear.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Awesome. So it records the gear, and then beautiful Princess Juliana Airport. Okay, I don't know why it's saying that. But again, a bit finicky, so it's not going to be perfect. So then I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. You have to pause it, and then you can kind of adjust where you are going. So I'll just kind of skip ahead a little bit, and I'll skip to go along with the runway. So it's going to be resuming from where I just left it off as, and then it should, just give it a second to load. So it said landing gear. Now the landing gear should be deployed. Flaps are deployed. So I am basically in a landing configuration right now. I haven't touched anything at this point. I've just moved and adjusted the flight recorder automatically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into drone cam. And now I'm going to pause this. So I'm going to pause that real quick. I'm going to go into camera settings, okay? And under showcase, right, there's external and showcase. We don't want cockpit, we want showcase, okay? So track IR is off, drone follow mode is off, for the time being at least. Drone lock mode, and now this is what we can do for drone lock mode. I usually reset the position, okay, and I go just a little bit down to where the center of the aircraft is. So typically about right here, and I'm going to go lock. Now it'll lock from this specific point, whatever that point is. So I guess it's kind of along the edge of the aircraft just a little bit, but that's okay. We can keep it like that. So then I'm going to just adjust my camera right here. I'm just going to go zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, and then I'm going to place my camera at the airport. Let's say I think our touchdown spot was roughly around here, so I'll slow down this camera all the way. Cool. And then now we can hit drone follow mode, turn that off, and then go back into the flight recorder. We hit resume. Then we can disregard this, And then now, zoom in, and I just use, you know, a Xbox controller. But again, our plane will load, and now I have full control over the
500.
camera, and I'm not even touching the plane. The plane is already ready. I've recorded it at this point. So again, it's just waiting and
400.
recording the touchdown and everything.
300.
And what I am actually going to do, just for a little bit of finesse, is I'm going to turn on drone auto,
200.
the auto focus. It looks as pretty. It's pretty cool.
100.
So we'll turn this off,
50,
and then
40,
just.
30, 20, 10.
So look at that butter too. Look at that butter. And then the beautiful KLM goes down the runway. Thrust reversers have been deployed. Spoilers are deployed. And look at that. Fantastic. You've just recorded yourself a perfect 747 landing, just like that one. So we go back into the flight recorder. We're going to hit pause. I'm going to redo this, and it'll still track. So then I can adjust this. So then I'll just adjust where my camera I need to put it. If I want to get a little bit of a wider shot, that I can just move the camera back here, and then go into the flight recorder, just move it back, and then record the landing again. So we'll do this, and I'm just
100.
adjusting little by little.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh my gosh, that butter. And then just move the camera out little by little, and then the thrust reversers are deployed, and then the beautiful KLM goes down. So again, this is with the auto focus as well. You can actually turn this off as well. And you can see how much of a difference. It looks a little bit. It makes it look a little bit more cinematic, if you will. But again, we can leave that off because it causes a little bit of stress on your PC, but that's okay. We're going to hit pause, replay, and then again we're going to do the same thing, and maybe I can do you know, a little bit of one of these boys. Let's see how well I can do this. So if you want to go from, you know, like a further place, like from a house, like I know there's these hotels over here, so actually this would be a good spot. So here we'll post up right over here on the on this balcony. We will do this. Let me slow the camera down. Okay, awesome. So we're on our balcony right here. We are locked on still to our 747. We're going to go into the flight recorder, and I'm just going to adjust this like that. Hit resume, and I can just minimize this, and then go back into the 747
400.
and act like I'm, you know, watching from a
300.
distance, or I can just do this right here.
200.
Again, this looks magnificent.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And then the beautiful butter down the runway. Oh yes. Oh yes. Astounding. So again, you can do this, you know, all the time with every single aircraft, almost just about. But the 747 is going to be the best, at least that responds well. You can hear the you can see the spoilers go up, you can hear the thrust reversers, so that's going to be a great indication that this is actually working. But things, again, like the Phoenix A320, the anything done by PMDG or whatever aircraft you have, it may not work. So in that case, just hit C on your keyboard in that case, and then you can go back to your controller and then, you know, use whatever, or go back to your actual thrust levers, and then you can actually control it that way as well, which is fantastic. But again, this is only just if you have a controller. That's going to be a good way of doing that. You know, just hold B for the thrust reversers and spoilers and stuff. So yeah, that's going to be a quick little tutorial on how to basically record a landing. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe and like the video as well. I'll go out with a few outro landings, so something similar that you can do. Again, this is all just with Flight Recorder. No other add-on is installed. This is still the stock Princess Juliana Airport, Saint Martin.
400. 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10,